Welcome once again. Today we want to now at least start creating our application. We will of course start by creating the navigation bar. Most websites always have a navigation bar on top there. Like if you say, let me try this website. When you say maybe tp.soft.co.k, the first thing that you expect is a navigation bar here that you can be able to use to navigate to different pages. That if you click maybe our services, you're expecting now to be taken to the services page. When you click maybe gallery, you expect it to be taken to the gallery page. So we may want to start there. We may want to start there, create a navigation bar. Any other website, for example, even if you go to the KRA website, you will still find there is that navigation bar. So navigation bar is very, very critical. It helps in taking people to different pages without necessarily knowing the URL. You just need to click a button, then you're taken there. So we want to see how we can achieve that. The beauty thing with Bootstrap, it comes with this code. So ours is just to know how to use it. Like for example, from W3 schools, when you go to navbar, you'll find that there are so many examples of a navigation bar that comes with the code. So we can just make a decision which one to use, and then we just copy and paste. Like for example, I can just decide to come pick, let me say which one. I can come and say, let me pick this example here that is immediately after navbar forms and buttons. If you say bootstrap navbar samples online, you will get so many examples that again, especially from getbootstrap.com, you can still just use it. Yeah, so there are so many examples again that you can just come and just copy. Yeah, then play around with them. You can even go to another website. There are so many contributors that have created such templates. So you can just make a decision which one do you want to pick, and then now you just copy the code. So you don't need like to invent the wheel. As long as you know how to use the code, then you don't code. Okay, so let us start. This is where I'm expecting to put my navigation bar, but if you can remember, we said you always start by creating the class container fluid, then from there you create the column, the columns, and then now you can put your code there. So let us begin with the first thing first. The first thing here is the class container fluid. Then now from there we go to another one more class. So I just say div, and then now this is my div. This div I'll give it class row. So it is this row that I'm going now to create a division. I want my navigation bar to fill from the one corner to the other corner. So I'm going to create one div, and then this div I'm going to give it the full length of the column. So I'll say call SM12, not dividing. I won't divide it. So I'll just use the entire width. Call SM12. So from the previous class, we learned these classes. So let me just go online, and then I copy some code for the navigation bar, and then I come and paste there. So like I can just copy this example from W3 schools. I said the example immediately after navbar forms. Navbar on the left side menu, and then navbar forms and buttons is the title. Then I just come here, and then I paste my code. So that has created for me a navigation bar, and here it is. This is my navigation bar. So you can just copy and paste that. But before we do that, and before we go far, we need now to change these links. Like now I can have this link titled homepage, and then I'm expecting this link to take me to somewhere. When I click homepage, I'm expecting to be taken to index.html. When I click about us, I'm expecting to be taken to a certain location, which is about.html. When I click contact us, I'm expecting to be taken to a page called contact.html. And then when I click, maybe, of course, now later we can now make some other PHP or Python code to be able to make searches and a few other things. But for now, we just wanted to work on the navigation bar. So then this is the index page, so I don't expect to be taken anywhere. So I just need to put a hash. So this is okay. I can now reuse this code. Now, if we were using object-oriented programming language like Python or PHP, then instead of copy pasting this code, we could only create a template that we will be calling anytime we want a navigation bar. But for now, we have not yet learned how to do that. So we just need like to copy and paste. Then change a few things. Like now, when I'm in about.html, then of course now I need to be taken to index.html the moment I click homepage. But the moment I click about us, I don't need to be taken anywhere. So I'll just put an hash. I can go again and copy and paste the same code and play around with it. When I am in home page, I'll be taken to index.html. When I am in about us, I'll be taken to about.html. But when I am in contact, of course I am already in contact, and when I click contact, I don't need to be taken anywhere because this is where I am. One more thing that I think I forgot to create was the logo. So we can also have a logo. Then now we insert it here instead of the word logo. So if you have a logo somewhere, you can go online and download it. Then now we use it. So like I can just go for just some random logo. Of course, me, I don't have a logo, so I'll just pick a random logo. Then on your case, you need to generate your own logo. Yeah, don't use other people's logo. But for the purpose of learning, I will just go save this logo in my project, which was Savannah Hotels. So I can create a folder, call it images, where I can be putting my files. So one image file I've created, logo dot something. So I can come here now and replace this with the tag for images called img src. img src is the code that we use for an image. So I can just reference now my image here. It is in a folder called images, and then the image is called that and that extension. So when I open this file, then I should be able to find let me open this file. I should be able to find the logo here. Now I can make a decision of customizing the width and the height, either straight from here, or I can have some my own css to customize this image. So maybe instead of customizing each and every, I can have my own separate css. So let me view and bring the sidebar so that at least now I can decide to create my own css from here. Call this css my.css. So this is a css where I will be writing my own code. So I can come here and have a class called logo. I can create a class called logo, and then I decide the width of the logo will be just a few pixels, like 50 pixels. I can also decide to create border radius to my image, like 50 pixels. Alternatively, I can have the the Bootstrap class that makes my logo to appear rounded or circular. Now this is a CSS that I have created, but again remember that this CSS is not known in my HTML files. So I can just come here and introduce my HTML file. Yeah. Sorry, I can introduce my CSS file. So we do that using the link tag, if you remember. So we just need to say link, then now we pick link and then define the source of my CSS, which is folder CSS, and the file is my.css. So this means I have linked my image. I've linked my CSS with the indexed file. I can also do a similar linking somewhere like here, and also in the other page I'll also do a similar linking. Now this gives us an advantage of not keeping repeating some styles across the pages. So I have just used one CSS file that I can write the code and then it affects the rest. So I think I'm done with that file. So I can just now go to view, appearance, and remove my sidebar so that at least you can see clearly. So I have not created the logo code in the other files. So I need this I need that. I need that to achieve the same. But again, remember, we wanted this image to be a bit small. So we wanted this image to be small. We created a class here called .logo, but we haven't used it. So I can just come here and introduce class equals logo. Yeah, so when you say class equals logo, then you're expecting now it will pick, and of course it has picked. I can also decide to introduce the Bootstrap class. Remember, this class logo is in my CSS, but also Bootstrap has some class that we can take advantage of, like this class called rounded uh, img rounded. We call it in Bootstrap 5. We call it rounded circle, this class, so we can use it. Remember, dot means a class, so when you are using, you don't include the dot. When you are creating, you use the dot to create. So for this case, I have two classes, one logo coming from my own CSS, but then I have another class here called rounded circle coming from Bootstrap, and then this is what we have achieved. Let me open this file in my own in a new file. Yeah, so this is what we wanted to achieve, and of course you can see it has come so well. If you collapse your window, you realize that yes, you are achieving what you wanted to achieve. So, and then now when you go to the next pages, we are missing that logo code. So I think I need now to copy this code for logo, and then I copy it now to the other pages. Immediately where there is the word logo, I need to have that. Where there is the word logo, here, I needed to have my code for an image. So the code for the image is here. So this is what I was missing. All right, so let's see what we have done. Let's see a homepage. Oh no, homepage. When I am in about us page, the homepage is not working. Let me see. When I am in the how about us page, when I'm in the about us page, I need to see whether the homepage is working. Oh no, this is wrong. is supposed to be index.html. So when I am in the about us page here, then now the index page should work. So all the pages, I think now they are working quite well. All right, so in the next class we will do something else. Especially we want to see how we can be creating pop-ups, we call them modules, and maybe collapse when a button is clicked. See you in the next class.